What's going on, people? This is your boy Say One's History. You are watching The Male's Perspective. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be updated for all cool new content that's coming out. Look, this is part 2 of reading the Diddy transcripts, you guys. You feel me? And we left off yesterday where it was just getting juicy. And we about to get into, like, head straight into the real crazy part. Now, I wanted to go over the transcripts because when you listen to different media outlets and social media platforms here, they're giving you bits and pieces, and they're also throwing in, you know, how they feel about it, which I'm gonna do too, to some extent. But with that being said, I want you guys to listen to everything that's going on in that courtroom. It's crazy. And what it's led me to believe, you guys, real talk, is that Cassie and Diddy deserved each other. They fucking deserved each other. For real. Because she was clearly looking for money, and he was clearly running game on her. Now, was there some love in between, and did they actually care for each other? I'm sure there was. I'm absolutely sure that there was some of that. But if you just listen to these text messages that they're reading over in the courtroom, it just sounds false. It sounds false, y'all. It sounds false, for real. It sounds horrible. But I want your opinion on this. I really do. Because sometimes I be off. And I don't be reading the room right. I'm not reading, in this case, the transcripts right. So I want you guys to tell me what you think. And I want to let you know where we left off yesterday, if you were not here yesterday. Yesterday, we actually left off right where they were talking about her wanting to have a baby with Diddy, even though this man already has 6 children, 6 kids already. All right, so with that being said, you guys got the preview. Let's get into it. Let's go.
We will get there, I'm sure. Okay. And you also wrote, you can't wait until we have a baby of our own to celebrate Father's Day. I love you with all my heart, right? Yeah. So that's for those that were on here talking about, you can tell that's why she didn't have a baby by him. And I'm like, it was my understanding that she did want to have a baby by him. And she's basically confirmed that she did want to have a kid by him. Okay. And you were asked why you sent that message. And you said, because I loved him and it was Father's Day.
Because I loved him and it was Father's Day.
And you knew he would appreciate that as a father. I thought so.
He got 6 kids. 6 kids already. I'm not appreciating shit. I gotta feed these kids. Let's keep going though.
You knew that he had his 6 children at the time, right? Yep. You also testified that you wanted to be around him, and you wanted to be around him for the same reason as everyone else at the time, right? That's what you said yesterday. Okay. And you said it's just this exciting. He's just this exciting, entertaining, fun guy, right? Yep, I'm sure I said that. And that's how you felt. You said it felt special because not a lot of people got that kind of time with him, right? Yep. And that you really fell in love with him and you were just like a little shadow for a little while. Yes. You also testified that it was a very different relationship from other relationships you had before, right? Well, it was, yes. It was exciting.
Okay. So, of course, it was different from all the other relationships in every way you can imagine. Of course, it was different, you guys. He is the richest man by far, not to mention freaky and weird as fuck. He is opulent. Look, check this out. I'm gonna explain real quick how much of a difference he is compared to other men. Even he's at the higher echelon of even the rappers and politicians. He's at the higher echelon of them. So forget a normal dude like me. Forget a, what do you call it? An iTunes rapper. Forget a YouTube rapper. Let's forget a popular rapper. Say one like Kid Cudi. But we gonna get into that in a minute. I don't want to jump too much into it. But the point I'm trying to make is she's out of his league. She's out of his league. And she bit off way more. She bit off way more than she bargained for. So, a lesson to you ladies out there. Y'all always be talking about you want a 6-figure man. Y'all always be talking about you want a rich man. And this is not to all, but this is to a good portion of y'all. There are things that come with that kind of man. And sometimes you get Diddy. Sometimes you get, what's the girl that was it Sierra talked to? Who's the football player? I think it was that Sierra talked to. Everybody keep talking about him. Wilson, what's it? Anyway, y'all know who I'm talking about. You can get Diddy, or you can get the other dude, Russell Wilson. That's his name. It's like a grab bag, ladies. I mean, if you first off think about this. Think like, how when you used to dig into a bag and then it would have like little eggs in it, and then little fake eggs, and then in the eggs you would have like a piece of paper in it. So imagine that there's 100 eggs in that bag, right? And the majority of them is just a piece of candy, okay? And let's say maybe like 10 of those are $100, and then one of those is $1 million prize, okay? All right, so when you're digging in the bag, normally you just get a piece of candy. If you're lucky, you get $100. Let's just say the $100 represent the rich, famous people. And then you get that one person that was able to get that $1 million prize. And Cassie got it. But what she didn't realize is that $1 million prize came with a lot of fucking stress. And ladies, when you get that $1 million prize, understand that there are rules, regulations, and stipulations that go with it too that you might not want. And this goes for men too. Because I hear a lot of men out there actually saying, hey, you know what? I want a woman who's younger. And yes, women that are younger, they're going to be more kind, generally speaking, going to be more sweet. I don't know about these days though. But anyway, generally speaking, they are usually more kind and sweet. But there's other stuff that comes with that too, like immaturity, not able to grasp certain concepts, so you take the good with the bad. And I'm not saying that men are wrong for doing this. I'm just saying there's always going to be bad with the good. So just choose. And men have actually chosen to. Men have actually said, I would rather go ahead and take the molding part rather than the headache part of an older woman. And I understand. I get it. But let's continue. Let's let her keep going.
It was much different. And it was passionate. There was passion, yes. And it opened up your world tremendously, right? There's not really a yes
It opened up more than her world. But I'm sorry, yeah.
or no answer to that one for me. Did it open up your world? In a different way, yeah, I'll say that. Is it
Yeah.
fair to say that he trusted you with his secrets? I think that's fair to say. And that meant that you held a special place in his heart. Yeah.
Hey,
And
wait a
that
minute,
you
what the
wanted to
hell?
keep that trust. Yep. And earn that trust. I don't know that I wanted to earn it. You did earn it. I did earn it, yeah.
Yeah,
So
she
to make
earned
him
it.
happy, you told him that you wanted to do freak offs, right? No, there's a lot more to that. I'm sure we will get there.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Can we please put up Defense Exhibit 1159 just for the parties, the court, and the witnesses?
Like I said, you guys, for everybody that's jumping in now, we are going through the full transcripts of the Diddy trial here. So to everybody that's jumping in, I appreciate you. I just want to go ahead and let you know, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this. We are going through the whole transcript. We're going to do an hour show today, and I'm going to keep doing this until we go through all the transcript. Because again, people are just giving you tidbits of the trial. I want to give you the whole thing so you can understand what's going on, because it's not as clear cut as people make it seem. So listen to this and then you form your own opinion. Let's get it.
Page 61. Miss Ventura, after you have taken a look, can you tell me if that reflects a conversation between you and Mr. Combs on August 5th of 2009? Okay. Move for admission. Excuse me? Does this reflect a conversation between you and Mr. Combs via BlackBerry on August 5th, 2009?
Damn,
It looks like a real conversation, yes. Move for admission. No objection.
Yo, I just want to say this too. I used to work for a cell phone company back in the day. And when I worked for that cell phone company, BlackBerries were the phone of choice, particularly because you could secure them. Like if you were, say, for example, like a dignitary or a senator or, you know, a famous rapper or whatever, you could put different things in a BlackBerry that would prevent you from getting tracked, it was just so many things internally that you can do with BlackBerries. So just a tidbit on that, you guys, but let's get it.
The court, 1159 will be admitted. Can we begin reading? And I will be Mr. Combs, the fourth message from the bottom, and go backwards. Would that be at the Me Too? That must be the time they starting. Hold on.
Me Too. Oh.
Let me read that over. Can we begin reading? And I will be Mr. Combs, the fourth message from the bottom, and go backwards. Would that be at the Me Too? I'll begin. I miss you already. Me too. When do you want to freak off? LOL. LOL.
And boom goes the dynamite.
I am just going up to change and put my ring in. I just picked it up. I'm always ready to freak off. LOL. LOL.
Really?
Let's just pause there. When you say I'm always ready to freak.
Yeah, let's pause there for a second. To the one or two ladies that are on here watching, if you don't know and you haven't been paying attention to this trial, freak offs are apparently where Diddy, Cassie, and a lot of sex workers and maybe some other famous people, they haven't got there yet, but maybe some other famous people, wink, wink, you get me. Anyway, get together, rub Astroglide and baby oil all over their bodies, get high as hell, and just start having sex with each other. Ladies, are you into that? Like, is that a thing? Is that what y'all like doing? I'm just curious. I want to know, but let's keep going.
This was sent on August 5th, 2009, correct? Yes. And how long had you been dating Mr. Combs at this point? Almost 2 years. And you have already had freak offs before this, correct? Yes. I'll continue reading. You tell me the day.
Damn, he started her early.
I'll continue reading. So then this is what they say. I'm assuming it's a text message. You tell me the day. You choose. It can be whenever. Name the night. I feel like the week.
Yo, so it definitely sounds like she was into the freak offs, yo. Like, and what the defense is trying to establish is that she liked it. She was in on it. For me, I'm sorry, you guys. For me, she liked it. And I'm not saying that Diddy is not a bad person, because he clearly is a horrible fucking human being. He is a horrible human being. But that does not negate or change the fact that she was his Bonnie to her Clyde. They were Bonnie and Clyde fucking together, having freak offs and smoking ecstasy or whatever the hell they were doing. They was like this, like my cousin Lakita would do. She go, oh, that's your ace boon coon. She go like this. That's your ace boon coon. That was her ace boon coon. Let's keep going.
Like a Friday night would be best, because we want time to recover for work or the work week, right? This upcoming weekend, the 8th, is the only one.
And I'm sorry, I just gotta say, okay, I'm gonna say it. You are fucking, I'm sorry, you are fucking so hard that you need time to recover. You need time to recover from a sex session? What part of the game is that? Look, I'm not putting my business out there, but I'm just gonna say, in my younger years, I had some fun, but I've never had to recover. I mean, like, I'm not talking about sleeping. I'm talking about they gotta put IVs in their body. They have to recover. Like, what kind of sex is you guys having? Well, we know what kind of sex they having, but anyway, let's continue.
I have until the 28th. Okay, I'm on it. LOL. Okay, but if you can't, we can always do it during the week. You know that doesn't matter to me. Can we pause? When you say we know that doesn't matter to me, you're saying that you understand that Mr. Combs knows that you don't mind whether or not it's on a weekend or during the week, right? That's what it says, yeah. Okay, then, Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs says, Friday it is. I wish we could get Jules here. LOL. Maybe we could. We don't know him that well, though. Jules. You want to call him and feel him out? Yeah, I can do that. Call him now, please.
Sound like one of the sex workers.
You want me to make you a bowl? What do you understand? Make you a bowl to me. Some food? Was this entire text message exchange kind of typical of your communication with Mr. Combs?
So, to those people out there, and I'm not saying that she's lying, but I'm saying make you a bowl can be code for something else. What do you think make you a bowl could mean other than make you a plate of food? Let me know.
I'm somewhat typical. One of the conversations. So, can we please put up for the parties to court and the witness Defense Exhibit 1162? Does this reflect a communication between you and Mr. Combs on August 7, 2009? It looks as such. Move for admission. We object to hearsay. I knew it was too good to be true. We object to hearsay. The court said overruled. Absolutely not. Miss Ventura, I'm going to ask you to read this one out loud. But is it fair to say that you are sending Mr. Combs an explicit text message? Yep. And that this was sent August 7, 2009, correct? Yep. Which is 2 days after the last message that we read about how you always were ready for the freak off, correct? Yes. Mr. Combs says, after the explicit message, he says, I can't wait to watch you. I want you to get real hot, right?
Diddy is nasty, bro.
Yeah. And you say, me too. I just want to be uncontrollable. Right? Yeah. What? Can we please put up Defense Exhibit 1164? Does this reflect a communication between you and Mr. Combs on August 7, 2009? It appears to be. Move for admission. Same objection. Same objection. Yes, based on the questioning on the last exhibit, we think that is a valid objection. Certainly, this is Combs' attorney. Certainly not for his truth, Your Honor. The court said overruled. Move along. Please publish for the jury. Please publish for the jury. I'm not going to read this explicit message, Miss Ventura, but fair to say that it's an extremely explicit message sent by you to Mr. Combs on August 7, 2009.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to know what it said.
And again, August 7, 2009 is 2 days after you and Mr. Combs were discussing planning a freak off, right? Yes, that's what it says. So it's a fair interpretation to assume this was an explicit message related to the anticipated freak off, correct? Objection. That's sustained. Can we please put up Defense Exhibit 1165 for the parties, court, and the witness? Mrs. Stevio, could we take a brief 10-minute recess? Yes. Members of the jury, we will be back in 10 minutes. The court said we will come back in 10 minutes. Ms. Ventura, during the break, you are not allowed to have any communications with anyone on the government side. Thank you. So the court said, well, Ms. Ventura just needed a short break, which is fine. If anyone else needs a break, that's fine as well. Since this is going to be a recurring issue as to these text message exchange, my understanding is, Mrs. Stevia, that they are admissible and not being presented for an improper purpose because Okay. Do you have a response? So they're arguing over trying to get over them objections. We're not going to go over that. Okay. How y'all doing over there? Everybody okay? What do you guys think so far? She opened up Pandora's box in the devil's sport. Huh? Cynthia said there are women who are willing to experience a threesome, but doesn't mean they want to have it all the time.
Okay. She's talking to her people,
this in the
so
past,
I'm going to scroll through this.
Because we don't know what they have. We don't know what text the defense have. What we do know is the government is objecting, trying to make sure that they don't get into evidence. So,
okay.
Assuming that you said Cassie's parents must not. We don't know. Her parents, I think, are there.
Let's keep rolling. I want you guys to hear.
It's obvious that she was like, whatever I need. Miss Estavio, when you're ready, you may proceed.
Here we go.
I believe we were on Defense Exhibit 1165 and I move for its admission. No objection. Exhibit 1165 will be admitted. Ms. Ventura, this exchange begins with the subject, what you thinking about, from Mr. Combs to you, correct? Correct. And then you respond with the extremely explicit message in response. Yes. And you responded on August 7, 2009, right? Yes.
I still want to
And
know what that
August
message
7,
was.
2009, again, is 2 days after the discussion with Mr. Combs about planning a freak off, correct? Yep. And Mr. Combs responds and sent a message to you saying, I can't wait. And that's why I want to see you, right? Yes. And when you receive that message, that's why I want to see. Did you interpret that as him talking about in the context of a freak off? Yes, I would have
That's what
thought we
I
were talking
interpreted it
about freak
as.
off. And how did you reply at the top? I can't.
He wanted that butt.
And boom goes the dynamite.
He said, I can't wait to get home and
boom goes the dynamite.
That's what he was talking about. And if I didn't know all about what I knew about Cassie, I'd probably say the same thing too. But let's keep going.
Wait either. That was on August 7, 2009. This was all on the same day, right? Yep. In anticipation of the freak off that you were going to do with him, right? Right. Can we please put up for the witness the parties in the court defense exhibit 1166? Ms. Ventura, does this reflect a BlackBerry communication between you and Mr. Combs on August 7, 2009?
Them damn Blackberries.
I'm just reading through it. Yep. Move for
Phones
admission. No objection. What's the exhibit number? 1166. 1166 will be admitted. Beginning at the bottom, Mr. Combs sends you a message with the subject line. This in the subject line. I'm so horny. On August 7, 2009, correct? Yep. And you received that message, and in response, what did you say? OMG. I was about to text you the same thing.
So, I'm sorry, I gotta stop it. Like, this is what I mean when I say you gotta take the good with the bad, because like I said, there are men out there who like younger women, and like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with that as long as they are of age. They are consenting adults. But with that being said, when you are dating a younger woman, you're going to have a younger mind. And like I said, there are good and bad things that come with that. One is you can shape and mold her mind, yes, and you guys can have a long, loving life as long as you're willing to go through those growing pains together. Yes, you can do that, okay? But at the same time, you get a very child-minded person. Sometimes you can't even have genuine conversations because you, in a lot of cases, have to maneuver kind of like you're her dad. And the dangers of being in relationships, particularly like this, is that when women typically get older and they start talking about prior relationships, or even while they're in relationships like this, they tend to come across women who are bitter or who, you know, I don't think you should be doing that. This is why they say, you know, keep people out your business. And in this case, I can understand this is the total opposite. But generally speaking, this is why they say keep people out of your marriage, keep people out of your relationship, keep family, friends, keep those people out of your business. As long as there's no physical violence, crazy stuff going on, y'all should be able to work that out. And when you introduce people, and I'm sure she introduced people into her relationship, eventually she started getting a lot of disdain for him. And like I said, was it worth it or not worth it? Was it valid concerns and frustration? Absolutely. Diddy is a fucking monster. Absolutely. You know, but I'm just speaking to relationships that are normal. But let's go.
And he replied saying, How you feeling? Talk to me. You're supposed to be seducing me all day, right? Yeah, I'm just looking at the timestamps. The bottom one says 7:49. We were just in different places. You're reading it the same way I am. I believe so from the bottom up, right? Yes. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't. The court said, let's get to the question. Okay, y'all having these conversations like we kicking it in theater or something. Like, let's get this.
Right.
You say, LOL, sorry, I'm nervous. I feel like I want to F right now. F-U-C-K, right?
What?
Yep, that's what I say. Can we please put up for the witness, the court, and the party's defense exhibit 1167? Ms. Ventura, does this reflect a communication via BlackBerry between you and Mr. Combs on August 7th of 2009? It looks like it. Yeah. Mr. Combs says, I'm so horny, I can't concentrate, right? Objection. It's not an evidence. Oh, I apologize. Move for admission. No objection. 1167 will be admitted. Please publish for the jury. Mr. Combs says in the...
So this is part of that evidence that, if you guys had heard about this, where a lot of the people who were inside the courtroom, and the judge particularly, eventually got frustrated with the defense. Because if you guys don't know about court proceedings, when you're in a court and you have evidence, you are required to already give that evidence to the judge, and you are supposed to give it to the prosecutors as well, so they can cross-examine it. But for some reason, the defense, Diddy's team, they just kept bringing new evidence and more evidence and more evidence and more evidence. And the judge was initially okay with it, but when he kept letting it slide and letting it slide, and then they kept doing it, he was eventually like, hey, hold on. Y'all can't keep admitting evidence, brand new evidence, into the court. You have to have this. It just sounds like a lot of people were saying, like they were not prepared. The defense was not prepared. But let's keep cooking.
Subject line, I'm so horny, I can't concentrate, right? Yes. And what do you say in response after receiving that message? It says, so what do you want to do? I'm going to Dwayne Reed to grab candles, and I'm going home to pack us a bag. Do you want any reg clothes between, or just sweats? Then I can go check in and set up the room. I'll eat, take my vitamins, LOL, and get ready before I leave the house. Just want to know what you're thinking. So that reflects your response to him indicating that you're going to set up a room for a freak off, right?
What you think she meant when she said, I'm going to take my vitamins, LOL? What do you guys think she meant? I'm going to let her keep going, though.
Yes. Can we please put up Defense Exhibit 1177 just for the parties, court, and the witnesses? Ms. Ventura, does this reflect a BlackBerry communication between you and Mr. Combs on August 18th, 2009? It looks like it, yeah. Move for admission, no objection. 1177 will be admitted. Ms. Ventura, can you read the bottom message from BG New Pen? I just deleted our new vid to this off of my camera. It was so dope. I just deleted our little vid to this off my camera. It was so dope. And does that refer to a video of a freak off with you and Mr. Combs? Oh, I'm not sure. Would you have taken any other videos with Mr. Combs? Yeah. In response to that message, Mr. Combs says, I'm going to do it again, right? Yes. Does that suggest you two probably to you, that he was referring to taking another video with you. I would think so. I just don't know what we're talking about exactly.
You
Objection, speculation.
all right? So come on, man. She knew what the hell that message was. Like, come on, bro. Like, look, I'm all for, people truly being victims and going through stuff. And, that's horrific. And I'm not saying that she is not a victim, because she is. But with that being said, there's a fine line that she's walking. Like, yeah, you're a victim, but you are kind of also the co-conspirator too. You knew what the hell you were getting into. You were okay with this. And this is going to be interesting after this trial is over. This is really going to be interesting, you guys, because there are going to be some jurors that are going to look at this and they're going to say, she need to be up there with Sean Combs, being prosecuted. And then there are others who are going to say, no, she was baited into this, and she was taken across states, and she was pumped up with different drugs, and we just feel so sorry for her. And they wouldn't be wrong either. But at the end of this trial, because there's men, there's women alike, I'm very interested to see how this is going to go. This, if you're old enough to remember, this is like the freaking O.J. Simpson trial. If you are old enough to remember, it got to a point to where everybody was trying to check the news information, any updates that were going on. This lasted for months. And this has that same vibe to it. So this is basically, what is it? Gen Z or X or what? I don't know. This is you guys' OJ trial. This is your OJ trial. So congratulations. You got an OJ trial. Let's keep getting it though.
The court said, you can move on. Ms. Ventura, when you took videos with Mr. Combs on your devices, you testified on direct that you typically deleted them, correct? The actual videos, yeah. Yes, and this message suggests your deletion of a video off of your camera, correct? Yes. In response to this message, you asked, do you have any more pills on you, right? Uh-huh. What was that referring to? Again, I'm not sure which kind of pills, but yeah. What kind of pills were you taking around this time in 2009? Right. Around this time, I was taking opiates. What kind of opiates? I don't know specifically on this date which ones, but Norco was ones that I mentioned.
Wow, Norcos, okay.
And Mr. Combs was also taking opiates at this time, right? Yeah, I don't know how much, I don't know what his intake was then, but yeah. But the message suggests that you're asking if he has any pills on him that you could have, right? Yeah. And going back to the videos, you testified on direct about deleting videos that were in your possession, right? Yeah. And by recording them on your devices, it gave you...
This is good, you guys, because what they're doing is they're establishing that she was a willing participant this whole time in this thing. So it wasn't like she was being given drugs and didn't want to take them or anything like that. She was the one who was essentially saying, hey, let's pop a pill tonight. Hey, let's get these freak offs going tonight. Hey, let's go ahead and call this male escort over tonight. That's what she was doing. So she wasn't the one that was saying, no, I don't want to do any drugs. No, I don't want to get it up the booty hole. No, she wasn't saying that. She was saying, let's go right now. That's
And boom goes the dynamite.
That's what she was saying. So, and I'm sure Diddy, in just all of his craziness, just as a regular man, as a regular man, let's forget that this is Diddy for a second. But let's just think as just a regular schmegular man, okay? You're in the courtroom and you hearing this girl telling all these good white people that you sex trafficked her and you raped her and you did this, and the whole time she was the one who was basically like starting it. And I'm sure he's sitting there listening to her and he's trying not to make any expressions, but I can only imagine what's going on in his mind right now. It's just funny to me. Now, do I think, and people have to remember, by the way, let me say this, people have to remember that they're trying to convict him for sex trafficking, okay? That's what they're literally trying to convict him for, because it's through the feds. So he is absolutely guilty of like taking drugs, like potential rape, maybe. Let's see what else. Arson, all this other stuff. But that wouldn't qualify as like Fed level. So they chose not to try him at the state level. They wanted to go Fed because it's with more time. So people have to remember, like, the burden of proof is, was he sex trafficking, bringing her across states against her will to have sex, or was this consensual? But let's keep going, y'all.
Capability of deleting them, right? If I saw them, yes. At a certain point in your relationship, you insisted on recording them on your device so that you could delete them, right? No. Would you want to record them on your device so you could delete them? I didn't want them to be recorded at all. If you are going to be recorded, you prefer that they would be on your device. I don't know. In some of the videos, did Mr. Combs appear in them as well? Yes. Before we leave this exhibit, turning to the bottom, you wrote, "It was so dope," right? Yes. And that's referring to a little video on your camera, right? Yeah. Could we please put up Defense Exhibit 1179? Ms. Ventura, does this reflect a BlackBerry communication between you and Mr. Combs on December 8, 2009? If we're going to go year by year, month by month, they're going to be here for a long time. I'm going to read through it first. I've read it. Does this reflect a communication between you and Mr. Combs on December 8, 2009? I don't remember it, but it appears to be. Yeah. Move for admission. No objection. Please publish for the jury. 1179 will be admitted. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yeah, she already asked to publish before the judge even admitted it. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Okay, Ms. Ventura, I'll read Mr. Combs' initial message to you. Subject line: the things I want to do for you and to you. I want to be nasty for you. I want to do what you want me to do. I want to make you come more than you've ever came. And in the text, he says, I want you to feel safe to let go. And you begin reading your response. We'll take it.
How old is Diddy, you guys? This sounds like some high school teenage stuff. Like, how old is Diddy? Let's keep going.
One line at a time. I like that. I want it, and I want to give you the same. I just think that I have to trust you beyond it just being sexual. Do you know what I mean? In order to be more open with the things we do in bed, I need to feel safe, like home, like this is my husband, and this is the only man that will ever have this aggressive sexual side of me. Can we pause here? In this message, you're showing that you feel two ways about the freak offs with Mr. Combs, right? Yeah. And the hesitancy that it reflects relates to the fact that you want him to be the only one that he's doing these things with. Withdrawn. It reflects that your acceptance of doing freak offs with him is that it's like home, like this is my husband, and this is the only man that will ever have this aggressive sexual side of.
So I gotta stop it just for a second there. It sounds like what the defense is trying to establish is that she was initially okay with the freak offs and didn't have any issue to it whatsoever, but she also wanted to make sure that she had security within in the relationship. Security emotionally, security that this was going to be the one person that she was going to be with for the rest of her life, and then ultimately that, you know, her business didn't get put out on the street as well too. So with her feeling this way, she was basically admitting without admitting that, hey, I'm cool with everything that's going on as long as I don't get put on blast, is essentially is what she's saying. I'm okay with this. And this is just the defense, you guys. So when the not the state, when the feds actually plead their case, I'm gonna go into that part too, but for right now, this is Diddy's team. This is Diddy's defense. And I think they're doing okay so far. But let's go.
Me, right? Am I reading that correctly? Objection. Sustain. I think you need to rephrase. Do you understand this message to reflect feeling two ways about freak offs? Would it help to read the rest of the message first? Yeah. The last time was a mistake, but since has made me feel a little dirty and grimy as opposed to sensual and spontaneous. That's the only reason why I go back and forth in my mind with wanting and not wanting to do it. When we used to do freak offs, when we were so in love, there were no questions asked. It felt right. Like it literally made sense for the next step in our sex life together. I get nervous that I'm just becoming the girlfriend that you get your fantasies off with, and that's it. I don't get the other part anymore, at least. When you say,
Okay. So she's conflicted, you guys. She's conflicted. Does this constitute? I don't know. Let's keep going now. I'm gonna try to stop cutting it off so much. So let's keep going.
this message, were you afraid that Mr. Combs was only seeing you for sex in this way and that you were only fulfilling that part of his life, his sex life? Again, I don't like remember this message specifically, but the end of it sounds like that. Yeah, like I was worried about that. And that your hesitancy was that you were afraid that you would just become the girlfriend to get his fantasies off with, right? That you wouldn't be his true full girlfriend. That's a way to look at it, I guess. Yeah. You say that you go back and forth in your mind with wanting and not wanting to do it, right? Yep. And you say that that's the only reason why I go back and forth in my mind, right? That's what it says in the messages, yes. Because at the time, you were afraid that you were being treated as someone who could just get the fantasies off with, right? That was a concern. And this was in.
So it was about how she felt. She felt comfortable. She felt protected. In the beginning, she felt fine with the freak offs. But now she feels like she's only being used. She feels like he's taking advantage of her. She feels like she doesn't have the upper hand. And you usually don't. With men that are established like this, you don't. But women want to play that hypergamy game. And this is what you get. She won the prize. She got the prize she wanted. But it came with a few extra accessories that she didn't want. So let's keep rolling.
December of 2009, after you had been seeing him for 2 years. Yep. And you still were not public in your relationship with him, right? Correct. And so it was a fear that you would never be his public girlfriend, right? I guess that was something that was thought about. It wasn't a huge fear, it was kind of an understanding that we had more so. By doing these freak offs with him in the first couple of years of your relationship, was that a defining feature of your relationship with him, doing these freak offs? By defining, what do you mean? Was it an important part of your relationship? Well, it became I don't know if important would be the word, but integral part of our relationship early on.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah,
you
he was
wanted your
just
relationship to develop more, right? Right.
Diddy was just using her, you guys.
And this message was sent to him by you, correct? Via Blackberry?
I gotta say the sad thing is that you know what? Hold on. I gotta see. I gotta see for myself how old Diddy is. How old is Diddy? Y'all understand while I'm asking this in a second. How old is Diddy? Diddy is okay. Diddy is 55 years old, you guys. So at the time that all this was happening, he was about maybe a little bit under my age, maybe somewhere right around there when all this was going down. Okay. I say that to say this. I'm not playing games like this with these women at this stage in life. But then again, he is famous, wealthy, beyond measure. What am I saying? He can do whatever the hell he wants, and that's probably what he's doing too. So let's keep going, I guess.
The larger part of the message was, yeah, it was me. And this is also in response to Mr. Combs saying, I want to do what you want to do, right? Yes. And this reflects your open communication with him about how you felt, right? I would say it appears to reflect some deep thought about your relationship and your perspective on freak offs, right? Yeah. And you felt safe sending him this message, knowing that withdrawn. You felt comfortable sending him this message, right? Yes, at this time I did. I'd like to go back to the very beginning of your relationship. I know we're already 2 years in. You testified that your romantic, intimate relationship with him began at your 21st birthday party when he kissed you, right? Well, sort of, yeah, in a way.
Cap.
Stop the cap.
Cap. The reason you said that is because, let's keep it real, you guys. She didn't want to get him in trouble in that regard. She didn't want to have another R. Kelly situation on her hands. She didn't want to seem promiscuous more than what she already was. Okay, so 21 years old. That's the first time they were intimate. Let's go.
You testified he kissed you at your 21st birthday party, right? Yes. And that was the first time you kissed each other. Yes. At that time, you were a very successful 21-year-old, right? I was trying, yeah. Your 21st birthday party was at a club in Las Vegas. Yep. I believe there were other celebrities there in attendance. There were. Like who? The actual party? Yeah. Sean was there and he brought Dallas Austin. He brought Britney Spears. I think those were the two people that stand out to me. How was a 21-year-old able to attract such celebrities to her birthday party in Las Vegas? That was all him. Yeah, I didn't know them. What accomplishments had you already achieved by the time you were 21? Wow. I successfully put out my first album by then. That was a big deal for me. How successful was that album? It did well, I think. We have a plaque. Fair to say that you were a celebrity in your own right? That's fair to say, yeah. And you had very popular songs. I had some, yeah, that were well known at that time. Yep. And people wanted to know you and get to know you. Yep. And you've been modeling for some time. Yes. And you're very beautiful and charming. Thank you.
She's sucking up
Can I show the witness in the parties
compliments.
in the court defense exhibit 1380? So by the time you were 21 years old, you'd been a musician for about how long? Like 3 years? 3 years. Yeah. And did you have a manager? I did. Who was your manager? At that time, it was a man named Ed Woods. Did you have other people that worked for you on your team? I had people from his management office. It was Casablanca Records. It was Tommy Mottola's company and the people that worked at that office.
Tommy Mottola. Why does that name sound familiar, you guys? Do anybody else know who Tommy Mottola is? Let's look Tommy up. Tommy Mottola. Okay, who is this guy? It says, let's make this bigger. Thomas Daniel Mottola, born July 14th, 1948, an American businessman, record executive, television producer, theater producer, film producer, and investor. Did Tommy Mottola apologize to Mariah Carey? That's what it was. Tommy Mottola was the one who was with Mariah Carey when she first came into the business. So this is just the game, you guys. She's around people like Tommy Mottola, who is a known creep with Diddy, with his freaky ass and his baby oil and Astroglide crap going on. And then whoever else is in the room with her too. So she is around like straight demons. Like real life demons, y'all. Okay, but Tommy Mottola, the dude who I don't want to say like he great, but it might have been, it was something crazy he did with Mariah Carey, but let's keep going, you guys. Let's keep going.
Tommy Mottola. Whew.
Yeah, Tommy Mottola. That's a crazy man.
Whew. He's a really popular old school music exec. He's well known. I think he's pretty well known. Yeah, that's Mariah Carey's ex-husband that had her all locked up in the house. What was your financial situation as a 21-year-old having a successful album out? At that time, it wasn't so much the album. I had been
I just gotta say, Tommy Mottola married Mariah Carey when she was 23.
For a while, so I saved up money from that. Did a lot of commercial catalog type stuff, but I was doing well. Were you able to have an apartment in Manhattan? Yep, my own place. And pay your own clothes and goods? Yeah. Was it Tommy Mottola who introduced you to Mr. Combs? No, I met Sean through a producer that I was signed to. And who is that producer? His name was Ryan Leslie. Who was Ryan Leslie?
Ryan Leslie.
He's a producer, musician, writer. I met him when I moved to New York, and we dated for about 3 years. And Ryan Leslie is a well-known producer, right?
So she dated Ryan Leslie too. She dated Ryan Leslie. Let's look up Ryan. Oh, Ryan Leslie is okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys got me off guard. It says Ryan Leslie, Anthony Ryan Leslie, born September 25th, 1978, is an American singer, songwriter, rapper, record producer, and entrepreneur. When did Ryan Leslie come out? Did Ryan Leslie Did Ryan Leslie graduate from Harvard? Who is Ryan? Okay, so that's Ryan Leslie in a nutshell. Let's keep going.
I'd say in the industry, he's well known, yeah. At the time, he was well known. Yeah, for sure. People knew who he and Tommy Mottola were, and they were important people in the industry. I guess you could say that. And you were an up-and-coming story, right? I guess you could say that. You were young and had a successful album, and people were excited about your prospects, right? Yeah. Do you remember you testified yesterday that after you were signed to Bad Boy Record, so when you were signed to Bad Boy Records, you were still in a platonic relationship with Mr. Combs, right? Correct. Yep.
Okay.
And you testified that he looked out for me. I had some rough performance.
That's hard, you guys, to have the person who has your literal future in your hands, but is also your significant other too. That's a double-edged sword. That could be a good thing and a bad thing. Let's go.
So we had my back through that, right? Yep. What performance are you talking about? I had one specific television performance for BET, a show called 106 in Park that used to do a countdown of all like the top records at that point. Yeah, it did not go well for me. Was it live or pre-recorded? It was pre-recorded. Still somehow ended up like that. Yeah. And how did Mr. Combs have your back in that? After it happened, I spoke to him about it and we did like a YouTube video where he kind of said, everybody makes mistakes and we're moving on from it. Cassie's moving on from it. What happened during that performance? Oh, it was just bad. Couldn't hear myself. Just didn't sound good. And what was the general public reaction to that performance? Everybody recognizes objection. That's his thing. What feedback did you receive about that performance? That it wasn't great. Yeah. So it must have meant a lot that Mr. Combs supported you through all of that, right? It did. So you just said that prior to your relationship with Mr. Combs, you were in a relationship with Mr. Leslie, right? Uh-huh. And how much older than you was Mr. Leslie?
Here we go.
I said that all wrong. And how much older than you? No, I said it right. And how much older than you was Mr. Leslie? I believe 10 years older. And when did you start dating him? When I was 19, 18. How old were you when you started dating him? Oh, I'm sorry, when you were 18 or 19? And you testified that you took a trip with Mr. Combs in Miami after your 20.
Again, man, I got to question those. I was dating him when I was 19 or 18. More, you was dating him like you was like 17. But let's keep going.
First birthday, right? Yep. And you wanted to spend the weekend together. So you came up with the flyer, I believe you said. I didn't come up with the flyer, but the flyer did happen. Yeah. In anticipation of your trip to Miami, there was a flyer that was made, right? Yep. And that flyer suggested that there was a club's appearance for you in Miami, right? Yes. And the purpose of that flyer was to give the impression that you had a professional reason to go to Miami, right? Correct. And the reason for that was because you were still dating Mr. Leslie, right? Yep. So that he wouldn't be suspicious of you going to Miami. Yep. When in fact you were spending the time with Mr. Combs, right? It was. And your friends also went on this trip.
All right, so she taking 2 honey sticks. Basically, she dealing with Ryan Leslie and Diddy. And apparently she likes older men, So this is just, this is more information for me, you guys, that she is a willing participant. This is how she gets down. She dates older men. She dates men who are in the business, who are wealthy, have some kind of status to them. She's trying to get places, you guys. She played the game and she got burned. That's what it really sounds like to me so far. But like I said, we haven't gotten to the prosecution's section, so we'll get into that later. We're already an hour and 16 minutes in, you guys. So I'm gonna wrap it up for the Diddy Transcripts 2. We're gonna get into Diddy Transcripts 3 tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. We're looking at right around 6 o'clock time-ish, Pacific Standard Time. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. going through these transcripts. Please make sure also that you go into the YouTube channel, check out the YouTube channel and subscribe there, man. I would really appreciate it. We grinding over here. I just want to say again, thank you to my beautiful wife for supporting me and everything I do. I appreciate you so much. Also, big shouts out to my boy Aaron. I know he's over or either just came back from Africa right now. He was just over in the Philippines. I thought I'd be traveling. This boy be doing his thing out there. So big shouts out to you, brother. Another thing too, I want to know if I should actually start the kind of like the trivia game up again, if you guys were interested in that and coming on. But that's all. I appreciate you guys hanging out with your boy. Thank you again. And we gonna get into this stuff tomorrow. So, be good, you guys.